On the night of November 9, 1938, thousands of fires burned across Germany and Austria. Synagogues were set alight. Jewish homes were invaded. Shops were smashed until the streets glittered with broken glass. To the Nazi regime, this was presented as a spontaneous outburst of public anger. To history, it is known by another name, Kristallnacht, the night of broken glass. It was not random, it was not uncontrolled. It was the first nationwide state-coordinated attack on Jews in Nazi Germany. And it marked the moment when persecution crossed a line, from discrimination into open terror. Before 1933, Jewish life in Germany was not hidden on the margins of society. German Jews were deeply integrated. They were doctors, lawyers, teachers, musicians, factory owners, civil servants. More than 100,000 Jewish soldiers had fought for Germany during World War I. Many Jewish families had lived in Germany for centuries. They spoke German, practiced German customs, and considered themselves Germans first. But Germany after World War I was unstable. Military defeat, economic collapse, hyperinflation, political extremism. In times of crisis, societies often search for simple explanations and simple enemies. Antisemitism did not begin with the Nazis, but the Nazis weaponized it. When Adolf Hitler became chancellor in 1933, hatred became law. The Nazi regime did not begin with violence. It began with rules. Jewish civil servants were dismissed. Jewish doctors were excluded from public insurance. Jewish lawyers were barred from courts. Jewish students faced quotas. In 1935, the Nuremberg laws stripped Jews of citizenship. Jews were no longer Germans under the law. Signs appeared in shop windows. Jews not welcome. Mixed marriages were criminalized. Public humiliation became normalized. By 1938, Jewish life was shrinking, economically, socially, psychologically. But even then, many believed things could not get worse. By 1938, Nazi policy became more aggressive. Forced Aryanization of Jewish businesses, mandatory identification documents, passports stamped with a red J. Jewish Germans were being pushed toward emigration. But leaving was difficult. Most countries refused Jewish refugees. In October 1938, Nazi authorities expelled around 17,000 Polish Jews from Germany. They were dumped at the Polish border, unwanted by both sides. Families were separated, food ran out, people slept in fields. Among those expelled were the parents of a teenage boy living in Paris. Herschel Grinspahn was 17 years old. Angry, desperate, and frightened for his family, he walked into the German embassy in Paris on November 7, 1938. He shot a German diplomat, Ernst vom Rath. Vom Rath died 2 days later. The Nazi leadership immediately recognized an opportunity. The regime portrayed the assassination as proof of a global Jewish conspiracy. It was propaganda, but it was effective. Behind closed doors, plans were already being prepared. On the evening of November 9th, senior Nazi officials gathered in Munich. Joseph Goebbels delivered a speech signaling that violent retaliation would be tolerated. Secret instructions were sent across Germany and Austria. Police were told not to intervene. Firefighters were ordered to protect only non-Jewish property. SA and SS units were mobilized. This was not mob violence. It was coordinated state action. That night, over 250 synagogues were burned. More than 7,500 Jewish shops were destroyed. Homes were invaded. Sacred objects were desecrated. Men were beaten in front of their families. At least 91 Jews were murdered. Thousands more were humiliated, traumatized, and terrorized. Kristallnacht did not end with broken windows. Around 30,000 Jewish men were arrested. They were sent to Dachau, Buchenwald, Sachsenhausen. This was a turning point. For the first time, Jews were imprisoned en masse, not for crimes, but for identity. Release often required proof of plans to emigrate. Germany was making it clear, leave, or worse, will follow. The aftermath of Kristallnacht was as revealing as the violence itself. The Nazi regime fined the Jewish community 1 billion Reichsmarks for the destruction. Insurance payouts were confiscated by the state. Jewish businesses were forcibly transferred to non-Jews. The victims were held responsible for the crimes committed against them. Kristallnacht shocked the world. Newspapers condemned it. Foreign governments protested. Public opinion turned against Nazi Germany. But borders remained closed. Very few countries increased refugee quotas. Condemnation did not become action. Kristallnacht was not the beginning of the Holocaust. But it was the moment when violence became public policy. It showed that Jews could be attacked openly, and that no one would stop it. From this point on, persecution would escalate into genocide. Kristallnacht reminds us that genocide does not begin with camps. It begins with words, with laws, with silence. Remembering Kristallnacht is not only about honoring the victims, it is about recognizing the warning signs before hatred becomes irreversible.